Good morning, Facebook and YouTube friends. This is your local friendly neighborhood illustrator, David Joyner, coming to you again with another useful and helpful tutorial. Here we're going to be using the Micron 01 pen again to do our inking on this elf and castle illustration. And I want to remind everybody that in the last episode I had stated that this castle was wrong in scale. I've actually taken the time to go in and make the windows a little smaller, and I decided, to go ahead and start inking it now. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the other things with this illustration. I'm trying to keep an eye on my time for how long it takes to do these things, and so one of the things that I have found quite distracting is constantly having to look and check the time on these illustrations. So what I decided to do was plug my ears into my previous illustration, but I'm not watching it. So technically I'm listening to the previous tutorial on this illustration, and when the time runs out on that one, the time's up on this one. So hopefully that's going to keep me right at 10 minutes or under 10 minutes. And that way we can knock these out. And I also think it'll increase my speed on doing them. It's really important that I also mention thank you very much for subscribing. I think we're going to probably also get to the doing the moon in this illustration. You guys are starting to see, I think, that you can take what was a simple illustration originally, and I had no real major idea to do this one. It was just going to be an elf picture, and that has slowly morphed into a much more complex illustration. And quite often, as I'm drawing these things, I'm actually coming up with storylines and ideas and ways of just thinking about what it might or potentially could be. I don't really know of any way I can squeeze this one into my current books that I'm illustrating and writing. It's a totally different theme and genre, but you guys know I have mentioned to you that I am listening to the Dark Elf series, and I'm in a book right now that I find really good, the Orc King, and so that kind of is probably why I'm doing an elf picture today. Man, the rain is coming down out here. When I'm done doing this tutorial, I gotta go and do my cardio. I'm going to go out and do a little jogging in the rain. It sounds like more fun than it really is, trust me. So, when I'm doing these illustrations, I want you guys to be really conscious that if I was doing this for commission, I do believe I would have taken probably 5 times as much time on this pencil work. I would have come in and done a lot of shading in pencil. As is, I only did just a fraction of shading. Ooh, it's windy out here. I hope that doesn't come across too much on the audio. Anyway, so we've got the tree line we're working on, and you can see where we're at on the castle. It's, I hope you guys are enjoying these tutorials. If you do, make sure to let me know down in the like section, or in the comment section, excuse me. Coffee, coffee. How many of you got up before 3 this morning? I did. So, as you might notice, I am making corrections on the fly. This is something I do not advise unless you are very confident At this point in the illustration, if you have not decided what to color your art with, you should really consider, if you're going to do corrections like I'm doing on this illustration now, you might want to do it in pencil first. I am decreasing the size of the roofs, and I am mostly just changing the rooftops, which is actually, in this castle, that's like the money shot. And if you don't get it right, it's just not gonna look right. And I'm kind of going for this to look like a older style castle. It doesn't necessarily have to have sharp edges, but yeah, you don't want to screw it up at this point. Excuse my French. We're at 5 minutes and 55 seconds. We've got about another 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Like those prime numbers. Anyway, I think that the moon is going to be an interesting one. I don't know if anybody has any trouble doing the moon. It's sometimes in these cases I like to do a little cloud over the moon action. So we're going to go ahead and start with the solid outline edges. You notice I'm not really concerned about perfect circles here. Your eye kind of fills in a lot of that. I know I've talked about that in previous drawings, but a lot of stuff reads differently to your eye, especially in something like this. You've got clouds over the moon, and you got the little pock marks on the moon. Got to put those in. I'm not, I have no idea where the lunar moon looks like exactly. I'm just sort of, it's my moon, however I wish it to look, because this might not even be some earthly location. This is probably some Funky Monkey planet. The planet of Funky Monkey. I like that. But still, some basic ideas are that the clouds break up that circle enough to where it pretty much looks round when you're done putting in the clouds. And the clouds will be a nice addition in the sky. Nice wispy clouds. There's several different types of clouds. I do not know their names. This particular kind of wispy, high altitude cloud I find to be very easy to draw. Probably not the most charactered clouds. Those big, round, rumbly clouds. Those with... Yes, can you hear that, everybody? Yes, we're going to be running in the rain and the thunder. Anyway. We're at 8 minutes now. I hope you guys are enjoying this tutorial. And if you do like it, make sure to subscribe, my friends. Please subscribe. Don't just watch this on Facebook. It doesn't do me any good. Please take the time to go to your YouTube channels and sign in. And that gives you the ability to like my videos. Bless your hearts, everybody. Please. Do that for poor old Dave. Anyway, I had to play on your heartstrings for a second there. It works on some people. So, let's just take a minute and pull back and see what we've created so far. Get my camera equipment out of the way. And as you can see... Oh, let me focus that. Hold on here. I'll focus. There we go. As you can see, we've got a little more pencil to do at the bottom of the illustration. And I'm planning on probably doing some of this pencil work down here. I'll be doing that in the next one. You guys have a good one. And bless your hearts and